Okay, this is Perry the Barber. I'm going to talk about these loud things that aren't loud anymore. Okay, I just fixed this one. This one I couldn't stop from being loud. As you can see, it's quiet now. That is the most important one. See that? These are brand new yokes. They talked about buying that. I guess if it's cracked, you can buy that, but otherwise you don't need to buy that. But this yoke, on the real old ones, they're too big. They're too big. And now they're making newer ones that are a little smaller. And sometimes I put these in now, in these things, and they work good, and sometimes they don't. Otherwise, the only thing I can do is take a pliers, hit it with a lighter a little bit, squeeze in, just then cool it off, throw it in the sink or whatever, while holding it on the pliers and still holding it on so it doesn't flip off, and just make it a teeny bit tighter, just a teeny bit, not much, just a little, and then you get this. This was loud. I couldn't do nothing. I put from two different orders that I ordered in, these and these from two different places, and no matter what I put in there, it wouldn't be quiet. So I tightened one pair just a little bit. Boom, voila. Like here's the brand new one. Brand new one, the anniversary model. That one's mine. I fixed this for someone else with another one. This one here, now these are the 72s. Now what they did, it's a little higher pitched. This is a 72. These are, man, I bought these. I had these on order when they first came out. And they sat in my drawer. I just put 2 new batteries in them. When I was doing this one, yeah, when I was trying to unplug it, it broke off the circuit board, and I tried to re-put it on, and it just was a failure. This is the old 72 motor. It works still. On all the new ones, they're putting 65 horse, or 65 whatever, SPM. Anyway, and just means it goes a little slower, so it doesn't wear the parts out that fast, and it's a little quieter. But I made these quiet too. Now there's some other things. You notice they all have 2. I buy the skinniest ones you can for like these little guys. And, for the little slim lines and stuff. And then I kind of get them with some alcohol on them or something. I spray some alcohol on them, like, you know what I mean? And then I can move them. And then what I do to make them stay right where I want them and on an angle, I put a blow dryer on them and kind of hold them in place. And I made he puts his in his cartridge like this. So I made his straight up. He's going to come get this. And I do mine the other way because I want to see the words, I guess. Anyway, it's just my preference. But these are all made for like 2.4, 2.5 cc or mm or whatever they are. I think it's cc. Anyway, and I actually took the lid. This one came with 2 lids. And so I put one on here, and then this is the old lid. Because I was trying to bend them to fit in the groove. So instead of bending them, I just make sure they're in there good. I don't strip these. I put one on the top, one on the bottom. They're super tight. It's kind of hard getting them on. And if you want to get them off, you'll break them. If you don't, like, put something on there without getting it in the motor. Just a little something. Like, I wouldn't put oil. I just put something that's going to dry nice and not make a lubricant. So, I use them on everything. I hate to say it, but we'll keep it on this. But there, I just lifted it up. These are super quiet. These have 72s in them. I put them in there. I don't know. So there's like 3 different kinds here, there, guys. But let's look at these. Now, there's a screw. Right in here, you wonder, there's 4 screws underneath this. You got to keep them kind of tight to make it quiet. So it's not so easy to flip. When it's easy to flip, it's louder. Make sure it's in the groove like I said. Put this on. You saw another video with me on it. All right, now that's a little grease because I greased it. You have to put a little grease in this hole. They come with grease in the holes when you buy them brand new. So I just put a little grease in there, pop it in. And then, I don't know, but it doesn't, you don't have to pop it in. You don't want it to pop in. You don't want to hear it go snap. If it goes snap, it's too tight and it'll make a rattly sound. But there's a screw right back here, a little Phillips in the middle, underneath this mechanism here with the 4 things. And I always put a new gasket right there because usually they're dissolved or flattened out. So I cut one out and just out of material. gasket material or whatever, little foamy stuff. And then that screw underneath there, I tighten and I back it off a little. And you know what that does? That holds on the whole sled. It holds on the whole sled. And that's it right there. It holds it on in there. Now, for some reason, when it's super tight, it's cockeyed or something. I don't know. Because when I black it off a little with no blade in it, it quiets up. That's with no blade in it, just the motor. It gets a little quieter. So I just back it off a little bit. Don't know why it works. I don't know. You can figure it out, but it makes it a teeny bit quieter. That's another thing. Make sure they're tight. What else was there? Make sure this isn't cracked, I guess. I never had to change one of those. Make sure this is right. All the noise comes out of this. This is big noise, and then the lid, of course. And there's the little things I did. Just the little things. I had to put 2 new batteries in them because these 2 were sitting in my cabinet for 2 or 3 years before this gentleman says, "Perry, you ever figure out how to fix these yet?" And I fixed everything else. So I figure, well, yeah, I figured out what's wrong. And oh yeah, there's a tension on the spring that needs to be just right. I always I bend them both towards the top. I don't want to take them out, rebend them, but I bend them back a little, those 2 springs that hook on this underblade. As you can tell, though, it's really quiet. I use them all the time now. Super nice. And I guess if you squeeze them, they can get even quieter yet. I mean, who cares? I'm holding it like this all the time anyway. Keep them oiled. One more thing, keep them oiled. Clean them. I see a lot of barbers don't oil their stuff. Man, I mean, where are they? Here, I'm going to show you. I buy oil all the time. I buy cleaner and oil all the time. There's some oil down there. There's a bunch of cleaner. I keep my blades really clean, oiled, because, here, I have one of these. Clean them out. That way you don't have to get them wet. I do spray them too. Spray them, oil them, but I blow the hair out of them first. Try to keep them upside down. I use magnets. That's just me. Anyway, saw it at the Barber Beauty Expo. I was using magnets. I bought this Vincent thingamabobber, and I had to customize it so that it would hold it straight up and down. I put some of those squeegee things in there. I cleaned them before I put them in, but I put those squeegee things in there. They're pink, green, whatever, plastic ones, so that it drains through. Kind of stick a zip tie through it. I drilled some holes in the bottom here, and that way it just stays in there so it doesn't pull out with the blades. I just use those things for other stuff, and I try to keep all my stuff fairly quiet. Every once in a while, like, this is a quiet one. Let me see. Every once in a while, and these here, sometimes, this was the super quiet one. Can't even hear. These are magnetic, and they're the Mac. What are they called? Mags. These 2 are loud as can be. It's just the spring tension on those. I just had to. I don't even remember. I loosened them or tightened them. I can't remember, but I just messed with the spring tensions, and they got. Well, you can still hear it a little compared to that one. I haven't used them for a while. This was really loud too, and this is a lot quieter now. But so everything's in the blade assembly. Blade assembly is so important. That's where you find all the problems. Blade assemblies. If you can turn this thing on with the blade off and no assembly in there and as quiet as can be, well, then it has to do with either the pitch of the motor going in, the length, usually the pitch, especially with those, because there's 3 screws, but it's all to do with what this is going into. And that's what makes all the noise. So you have to get this right and all the plastic pieces in there. And tensions. And I guess that's it. This is Perry the Barber. I hope you got something out of this 9-10 minute video. I hope it helps you, because I was going to do the whole thing and it was taking me too long, and I rattled my mouth off and it took a long time. But they have made them a little better. They made them a little slower, and they're better than they used to be. So at least they're trying to improve. And you can make them better yet. Most everything's the blade yoke, though, and if they're not good enough from the get-go, tighten them with a little lighter and vice grips or something. Hold on to them. They spring out of there. You got to go find them then. Okay, Perry the Barber out. I don't know. if I don't want to see my ugly old face, well, anyway, here I am. Okay. I hope all's well, and all the barbers out there, all my barber friends. I'm an old one, but I used to be a young one. So do good, make people happy, and remember they're the boss. Okay, bye.